Welcome back to this week's episode of HISD Unscripted. My name is Kara Esquivel, and today we've brought in another great partner of Hereford ISD, WT Services, to talk about our partnership with them and what all they do for our community. So I'll let them introduce themselves, and then we'll get right into it.
My name is Bennie Gonzalez. I'm the manager in business solutions with WT Services.
And my name is Vanessa Gonzalez. I'm with the Business Solutions.
And I'm Adam Pena. I'm the Media and Communications Coordinator for Hereford ISD.
Well, WT Services, thank y'all for joining us today on our podcast. And we're excited to just kind of learn a little bit more about y'all and let our community kind of know some more things that y'all do, especially with our district.
Good. Thank you for having us, for sure.
We're glad to be here.
So let's just start out by y'all telling us just a little bit about the history of WT Services and a general overview of who you are.
Yeah, well, West Texas Rural Telephone Cooperative was formed back in 1952. We cover about 2,000 square miles of here in the Deaf Smith Castro County. And so WT Services is actually a subsidiary of WTRT, which was formed 42 years ago. And so anything within city limits is WT Services. Anything outside of the city limits is considered West Texas Cooperative. And so that's the history and how we formed and how it's come about. So we've been in about 73 years working in the rural telephone and that phone business.
Well, y'all been around the Hereford community for a long time. And so kind of when did the partnership start with Hereford ISD?
Well, with my understanding, I've been with WT Services for 5 years, but we've been about 25 years my understanding that we've really helped all our area from Freona, Bovina, Bushland, and Hereford with the districts, just providing internet, just building relationships with them, helping in whatever we can for the students, for the teachers, and the faculty, and just to be part of the community as well. Being local helps out quite a bit. So we want to establish and build that relationship with every school district that we are able to service. So that's our goal.
Well, I know, like, as school districts, we definitely appreciate our local businesses, that especially those like y'all that give back so greatly to our school community and just, our Hereford community as a whole. So just as a part of that, thank y'all for everything y'all have done so far and what y'all continue to do for us.
Well, you're welcome, and we're more than happy. And so that's what we're here to do. And our CEO, Scott Hickok, and Stephanie Alonso, our assistant general manager, they're all about, helping and doing what we can, what's best for our communities. That's why we're here. It's because of them. And so we just want to do everything that we can to help out. And so we're glad and ready to help when we need it.
For sure. Well, we actually met Scott not too long ago, and we were, just amazed at how giving and how just open y'all are. And, from the top down, just that same philosophy all the way through every employee at WT Services. So It's really great to have that partnership with you, and just we look forward to all the great things that have come out and continue to come out from this partnership. Let's kind of get into a little bit too about what y'all do for the district and what y'all have done for our district. This was before my time when I was here, but Adam mentioned that during our COVID years, y'all were just instrumental in making sure that our students and our families had access to just the online learning that, is new to everyone at that time.
Yes, the pandemic really just affected everybody, shut things down, but we were able to get into every school district area, every community we had, and we established and set up hotspots to where kids were able to get out there, even parents, and just to be able to communicate or, get what they needed, the internet service, to do homework or do whatever needed to be done. And so, we did it we did from Freona, Bovina, Bushland, and here. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Rich said we set up here in Hereford alone about 8 hotspots all around town. So you could go park and do what you needed to do, and get connected and get things done. And so that's the way we helped out during the COVID years. It's just to be able to do that. And I know it was a lot of work. It was a team effort with everybody involved, from our IT department to, systems, everybody, INR, and our construction, just to be able to get that done. And that's a big part of what we do. Is we all know we all have something to do, and we all do it and come together to help out our community, for sure.
Definitely. And so, Adam, talk about that, like, from our side of things. You were, working with technology at that time. How did that partnership just help our school district and our students.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So what we did as a school district, we actually, you guys came out and y'all ran lines to the outside of our buildings, and we put access points. So the kids couldn't come into the buildings, but they could come and park in the parking lot and do their homework. They'd sit out there. I mean, we saw it firsthand. We'd see cars parked out. West Central was one that I saw personally. And then the biggest one was the stadium when you guys turned on that hotspot. So they would go out there and they would sit there and do homework. But the partnership was good. I mean, Joe Mendez was here at the time, and him and Rich worked together with that. And it was awesome. Our community, I know we got emails and you would talk to people out in the community and they'd be like, man, we appreciate what you guys are doing. And we tell them, it's not just us, WT Services really stepped up to the plate and helped us there and on that aspect. But it was really neat to see how it helped the community.
Yes.
Just kind of come together, and help the kids because nowadays everything's online. And so without internet, we couldn't really do anything. And so it was really beneficial for us and the community.
Well, and kind of leaning into that as well, how we're talking about everything's online. I know that y'all have now added, the free Wi-Fi at our football games, which has helped, not only, this fan engagement that are there, but also, our media team, whenever we stream and stuff like that, we have that option to tap into that internet access. And so, kind of talk about that and how that got started and, why y'all decided to, do.
Yeah, we really, we just want to give out, just do what we can. And giving that free Wi-Fi out there, you get a lot of, not just kids, but others that want to tap in, like you said, to the internet and listen to it live or whatever it may be. So that's why we did that. We also, not only just with the school district, but we've done it elsewhere. We've out at the sportsplex with the new baseball fields. We got some hot spots out there that you're able to get in and do what you need to do. So that was good, just to be able to help in that way as well in the sports. I mean, because I know now that you have soccer, y'all were able to do that as well. Mm-hmm. So and for people to have free Wi-Fi and do that. So that's what our company wants to do, is just give and in any way we can. But when you help a student or you help a school district, you really have a far reach out there just to be able to help, a lot more people than at the time. So
I will say this too, and it's not for you guys. It is truly a partnership because it's not something. I remember last year it quit working. Right, we hadn't noticed that it quit working, but you guys did, and they came out and troubleshoot it. Hey, we got to make sure this thing is up and running. The season's fixing to start. You don't see that a whole lot from other companies that just want their name out there, right? You guys actually saw a problem and said, hey, it's not working. We're going to go fix it. Yeah. We had no idea it wasn't working. So I remember you guys reached out. You reached out to me, bro. Yes. And we're like, hey, this thing's down. It's not working. So can we go, when's a good time where we can go out there and troubleshoot it? Yes. And that was good to see because it not only shows that you guys care, but that you want to put out a good product. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about putting AWT Services is doing this, right? Yes. It's about a true partnership. Yes. So we appreciate that as a school district.
And that's one thing, too, that we tried. Like you said, it's just our customer service. Just we're local. We will be there the same day. We want to take care of it, not just businesses, but our residentials, where our school districts, we get a phone call, we make sure and get somebody there that same day. We're not waiting. You'll talk to a live person. You're going to get help. And sometimes they can help you over the phone. If not, they'll get somebody there to take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So, kind of also on that point too, you talked about how just involved y'all are in the community. And I think a lot of times, when you work somewhere like with us working in the school district, we're like, oh, WT helps us in this way. And then we don't see everything else that y'all do. So kind of can y'all talk about what else, you're giving in our community?
Well, I know within the school district, we didn't mention it, but we do have a scholarship program. We do have for the students that don't know or parents, you can go and ask, and I'm sure we do give applications out in every district from Bobina, Friona, Bushland, and Hereford. So that's a big plus. But we get involved with a lot of businesses, at least with the Chamber of Commerce. We try to get out there, any grand opening or anything that they're doing. We try to get involved. Civic groups are doing anything. We want to help them and just volunteer. You'll see us volunteering at the Hereford seniors or, the food pantry, wherever needed. I know Leadership Hereford's about to come up, and that's a good program. And so you see a lot of need out there. And so I know that our assistant general manager, Stephanie, said, hey, who all, send out an email and just say who all wants to get out there and get involved, and you can go out and help. And so we've been out there when we've helped out with the Hereford seniors, and that was good. I did Meals on Wheels for the first time. I've never done that, and I got a good workout. I was a runner, so I was jumping out and getting the. But that was good to be able to just get those meals out, and and we're representing not just WT Services but our community. That hey, we're here to help. We're part of it, and we want to do what we can when we can. And so. That's we get involved. We try to get involved in whatever area we can. If we have time, there's times but there's a few of us that go out there and get involved in everything that we can. So definitely, we just want to be part of this community. That's who takes care of us. We want to take care of them. So we'll definitely keep going as much as we can for sure.
Well, and I think that's such a difference from like local businesses to just bigger name businesses that are out there. Like you don't see just that extra acts of service. You don't see them serving on your boards, and you don't see them, doing like things like Meals on Wheels. So just having that in our community and just a part of Hereford just makes such a big difference. And, for y'all to just have such a giving heart and just that philosophy to give back in more ways than what you can do with your company, I think that's just amazing to see. And, we appreciate it, definitely. Let's go back a little bit to the scholarships too. Talk about like how our students, how that's impacted the students in the community, and, when kind of that scholarship program started and things like that.
I don't know how far it's gone back. I know that I've been there 5 years, and ever since then so I know it's gone back several years, and it's just a fun. I can't, and I don't want to start, but I do know that it's been out there for a while, and it helps. I mean, when you go out, anything helps when you go to school. Any little bit is going to help. But it's just an application they fill out. And I know, just a quick story, we give some checks back within the rural area, in the sense of I forgot what they're called, but we did at one time. And in Cargill, we were able to give them a check, and they turned around and just donated it back and said, we want to give to the community. We want to partner up with WT Services, and gave that check back and said, hey, go out and be a blessing. And so that's what we did. And so it's just a college fund that's able to help out, in any way that'll help students for sure.
So before I was in the communication role, I kind of worked at the high school, or not kind of, I did work at the high school as the college and career readiness advisor. And so I would have like students come in and be like, have you gotten the applications yet for WT Services? Like they were actively looking for them, and, just relying on some of that just to help them go to college. Because, these days college is expensive, and these kids, anything that they can get, they'll appreciate so much. So I think that's amazing, that extra little bit that y'all do too. Yeah. So something exciting is coming out of this partnership with WT Services and Hereford ISD, like super soon. Like right now we're testing it and getting it all ready. So I'll let Adam actually talk a little bit about what's coming next.
Yeah, so we reached out to WT Services, and actually reached out to you, Bennie, and then you got us in contact with the people that we needed to about the HERT channel that people see on the cable that you guys provide.
Yes.
And asked what we could do to get access to that, and kind of start putting some of our content on there, the lunch menus, whatever the case may be. And so we set that meeting. That's when we met Scott. So you guys were there, and we just kind of discussed about how it is that we could get it going. And so Scott said, hey, well, we'll just kind of let you guys have it if you guys take control over it. Yes, so we that's kind of the process that we've took to get it going. And it's been pretty cool process, a lot of technology involved in it. But I think we're in the testing process now, and working through all the kinks and stuff. But soon you guys will or the community will be able to see some of the stuff that we're pushing out there. But on your end, kind of what's that look like,
I know once we got that turned in over, like I said, our IT, Heath and Michael and Johnny and Keith, they're working on it. They're like, hey, it's a good idea. Let's see how we can make it work. And so, yes, I know y'all been in communication and getting it going. And so we're excited, to be able to get in there and help you guys get that content out and just give it to you, free of charge to help you get it, and just because, hey, that's part of Scott. That's who Scott is. That's Stephanie, and just WT Services, WTRT. We want to help when we can and where we can. And I believe doing that channel is great. Yeah, we used to do the rerun of the football games, different things that we'd put out there. And I know Dr. Carter saw that on his cable and said, hey, what can we do with that? And you'll see y'all presented that. And Scott's like, yeah, let's do it. And so that's where we're at. And so we're excited to be able to help in that area as well. So hopefully that helps out quite a bit.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's just another avenue where our community and our parents can just, see what's going on in our district and see some of the content that we're posting. We post a lot every week. And so some of it might get like flooded through where you don't see it. But if it's on that continuous loop and with that channel, it just gives more opportunity to see for more information to go out to the people that need it.
For sure.
So we're really excited about it. I know we've been talking a whole lot about what all we can put on there and stuff like that. So we just appreciate, all that y'all do for us.
Glad we could help, and we'll continue. We'll continue for sure.
Well, thank y'all again for joining us today, and just for your continued partnership with Hereford ISD and in our Hereford community. We appreciate all the work that y'all do, with WT Services and just on the personal level as well. So,
thank y'all for having us, and look forward to keep working with you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of HISD Unscripted. Remember, you can catch us anywhere you listen to your podcast, or you can watch us on Facebook and YouTube. Catch us next week on Thursday for our next episode.